Hello darlings, hello, welcome back to my channel. You know how I hate an intro. Welcome back to my channel. I am Christi Lukasiak, probably best known as Christi from Dance Moms or Dance Mom Christi or Chloe's mom, all of the above. Do you like my new fresh top? Kind of cute, right? Like I got my extensions taken out, I got my hair all healthy, and then I got like a little bit shorter of an extension put in. So I've got like this little sassy haircut going, which I'm really into. I like it. I'm being very dramatic with it. Let me know below if you like it. But anyway, today I am so excited to do this video because it's something that you have been requesting forever. Today I am sharing my top 10 favorite duets and trios from Dance Moms. I did this a few weeks ago with my group dances, so if you missed that, check it out, I think here. Now, just a little disclaimer here. I went through and I just did duets and trios that Chloe was a part of. I just wanted it to be like Chloe centric. So in my mind, Chloe's at the top of the duets and trio pyramid for today's video, which I'm kind of into, right? Like, are you into it? I feel like I'm into it. And I have to say, when I go down the Dance Moms rabbit hole, it's tough to watch. Like, it really is. First of all, it gives me like total anxiety. But second of all, I feel like I watch Chloe's whole demeanor go from like very light and bubbly in season 1 to by the time we get to season 4, I mean, it's obvious that she's very, very troubled by a lot of the things that were going on. So it's hard for me to watch, and I obviously have a lot of guilt and thoughts and everything, but that's a totally different video for a different day. Today we're gonna focus on the positives. Christi's top 10 Dance Moms duets and trios. You ready? Are you ready for this? 10. All right, we're gonna take it back to, I think this was season 2, I believe. I can't remember what season everything is in. And the name of this trio is We Believe. And it features Chloe, Maddie, and Kendall. They're wearing like these little shaky orange, you know, costumes. So We Believe was kind of like a little jazz dance. It was upbeat. I liked the turn. There was like a turn circle. I remember I liked that. I just thought it was kind of fun and sassy. I mean, there wasn't anything really that was like, oh, it was this part that I liked. I just liked like a fun upbeat number. I feel like a lot of our numbers were very dramatic. So sometimes it was nice just to have something that wasn't so deep and meaningful. And the title didn't have anything to do with like giving your mom the finger. So that's always a plus, right? Because a lot of our dances were like, and your mom sucks. A jazz trio that didn't give the old F you to the mom. So sounds like a winner to me, right? Moving on to number 9. We have one of many Chloe Maddie duets. And this one is We're All Right. So they had like the pink and orange costumes. They were a little bit older in this. I do remember when I watched this, I thought it was a little bit more mature. I always really did like when Chloe got to do a duet with Maddie because I knew that her choreography was going to be good. Because sometimes Chloe did not get the best solo choreography. I mean, look, you can say what you want or you can call me out on that, but it's very obvious sometimes that her choreography was watered down intentionally. I feel like this was a very like typical Dance Moms duet. And I did like it. Number 8. This one's kind of a fun one and maybe slightly unexpected because it's musical theater. And this one was Hear No Evil, Speak No Evil, or wait, maybe it was Hear No Evil, See No Evil, Speak No Evil. This one was obviously a big F you to moms because it was Chloe, Brooke, and Paige. So I'm sure this dance had a message to Kelly and I about speaking evil. I don't know, maybe I swore that week, who knows. But it was kind of fun because they were in these little polka dot, like red and white polka dot numbers. They had really crazy looking hair. But I think Brooke had a microphone, like an old school, like 50s microphone in it. And if I remember correctly, I think that had something to do with like Brooke's singing career. I don't know, but when you watch it, you can tell like she clearly doesn't love it, but it's cute. It's really cute. Number 7 is, I think, the only duet Chloe did with Kendall, and that was Chasing Answers. They wore green. I think one was a daisy, one was a lily, maybe? I don't remember. But they had like flowers on those costumes, high-waisted green shorts. They had some cool makeup going on. The dance was really good, and I think they went on to compete that dance maybe outside of Dance Moms. I think they did it at a competition or two. So I definitely liked the dance. I thought it was a little dramatic. It had some like intense music. I thought they really danced well together. I do feel, however, that dance is a little overshadowed by what else happened in that episode, because Abby called Chloe a snake, or a sneak, I think, and she left the room crying. And that was real. Like, Chloe was really upset. If we're just taking it on the dance alone, I did like the dance. And I think Chloe and Kendall should have had more duets together, just in my opinion. Okay, number 6. This one was from season 4, I do know that. And this was, I know, the only Chloe and Kalani duet. So this was called For You Too. I think Kalani was in blue and Chloe was in like a beautiful deep burgundy. Very lyrical, pretty. Again, I thought they really danced well together. That was another pair that I was like, oh, should we have done more duets together? But that wasn't the point, I don't think. I don't think Chloe at that point was really given the opportunity to like be featured more with like in good dances. So I appreciated it for what it was. And I think they did a really beautiful job, and the dance was just really pretty and the music was beautiful. Okay. Number 5. So this one was from season 7, and it was Coming to Hollywood with Chloe and Nia. And I didn't really remember this dance. Honestly, a lot of the season 7 dances kind of get lost on me, because I was dealing with a lot emotionally in season 7. Like, it was about the dances, but it was more about like an emotional journey for Chloe and myself. When I was Googling and I found that dance, I really appreciated it because Chloe and Nia had been dancing together since they were little girls. And here they were as these beautiful grown teenagers on stage looking like these stunning, beautiful, like movie stars. I really appreciate that their friendship has endured through all of these years. So, I love that dance. I really do. And I didn't give it enough credit until I rewatched it, and then I was like, oh, I really love that. All right, now we're gonna take it back to, oh, this is definitely, I think, season 2. Another Chloe Maddie duet, and this is Inside of Me. They had the gray costumes on, and this dance was really beautiful. But something I remember, like, beyond the filming of Dance Moms with this duet was we were still obviously competing as a team when we weren't filming, and we were at, I think it was Jump in Pittsburgh, and I remember them being in the program book, like their names listed that they were coming up to do this duet. And when they called their number and they took the stage, literally everyone in the building, it felt like in the building, I'm sure it wasn't everyone, but like it was a million people all rushed in. All the judges who weren't judging at that point, anyone who was like in the area heard that name, and everyone ran in to watch them dance. And it didn't even feel like a dance competition dance at that point. It felt like just this amazing performance of these girls who the world was rooting for at that point. But I remember having this like surreal moment watching that, being like, oh my God, like people are really rooting for them. And I mean, I think the dance is beautiful, obviously, and the music was great. But I just have such a specific memory of that incident. And every time I see that dance, it reminds me of that. Number 3, and you knew this one was coming. That is Wishbone with Paige. Chloe and Paige had waited forever to do a duet. Yes, they did Broadway Blondes, which we're not going to discuss because I didn't love those costumes, but they were waiting forever to do like a meaningful friend dance. And when they got assigned Wishbone, they were so freaking excited, and they were just like, like they finally had their chance, and I thought they were just so amazing, and the music was beautiful, and I think they just, when I watch that, it just reminds me, again, like I said with Nia, these two little girls had grown up together, but like Chloe's friendship with Paige even went further than that because they'd known each other since they were 2, and it was just like one of these moments, and it was such a beautiful performance. And unfortunately, we all know what happened in that episode, and that ended up being the last dance either Highland did on Dance Moms. This is kind of my tribute to them and saying like, I think you guys were fabulous, and I don't care what place you got because you won as far as I'm concerned in my heart. Number 2, okay. So we are definitely taking it back. We are taking it back as far back as we can take it because we are going to the very first episode and the very first drama, the very first trio of Dance Moms, and that is 15 Minutes of Fame. Now in real life, that trio was called Pinup Girls. However, on the show, it was 15 Minutes of Fame, and that is the infamous dance where Chloe's headband fell down, which, look, there were other incidents throughout Dance Moms where people had, you know, malfunctions on stage, and they were celebrated for dancing. And Chloe's headband fell down, and she pulled off an amazing aerial blindfolded and got yelled at. So the inequities there are just so blatantly obvious. That dance is by far one of my favorite dances of all time. With the real music, it was so freaking adorable, and they were the cutest. And honestly, I meant to bring the headband up and I was gonna like wear it during this part, but I forgot it. So imagine I have the headband on because that was the intention. What do you think the very first, or my very, very number 1 favorite dance, duet or trio from Dance Moms was? I am sure there are people out there that are screaming right now that they know what it is. And if you said Black Swan, you would be 1000% correct. So Black Swan, again, taking it back to season 1 nationals, that is the duet between Maddie and Chloe. And Maddie was the white swan, Chloe was the black swan. Like, they started a little bit of the choreography for that off camera. And I remember Chloe came to the hotel room and she was like, oh, she's like, I get to be the black swan. And I was like, oh, were you know, picked to do that? She's like, no. She's like, I volunteered. She's like, I really wanted to be the black swan. And I was like, oh, okay. And when you watch that, I feel like she just encompassed like that dark, but still beautiful, like dark side of being that black swan. And I think that dance was, they were so little and they were just so sweet and innocent and just like these little babies who wanted to do nothing more than dance. Chloe had forgotten her solo earlier, and then Black Swan was her way to like redeem herself. And not only do I think she redeemed herself, like, you know, in the eyes of the judges or whatever, in the eyes of the audience, but she redeemed herself in her own eyes. And to me, that was like the most incredible, important moment. And she was so excited about that dance. So Black Swan, you will remain, or you will reign supreme in my brain until my dying days. So you are my favorite. This wouldn't be a Christi Dance Moms rating if I didn't throw in a little bonus, right? Okay. This trio never aired on Dance Moms, but it's totally worth a mention because it's the original trio, not the first one, but it's the original group trio. Okay, so here is a little clip of Camille, Colette, and Fifi for your viewing pleasure. Enjoy!
Camille, Colette, Fifi. Three ladies of the boulevard are we. Our trade may be shady, but we do quite well. We have a very active clientele, so please come up and see Camille, Colette, Fifi.
So that's it. Those are my top 10 Dance Moms duets and trios, according to me, that include Chloe, like all of the disclaimers. But thank you so much for watching. Leave a comment below and let me know which one was your favorite. And be sure to subscribe to my channel, turn on those post notifications so that you are notified when I go live, because I have a few really good videos coming up in the next few weeks that you're not gonna wanna miss. So have an amazing weekend. Sending you all the kisses, and bye.